Welcome back to the LEC as we get ready for our second game in this series between G2 Esports and Team BDS. Reminder, the winner will be secured in the top 4, facing off against Excel after their victory.
Excel! The winner of this is playing up against Excel. Drakos, how crazy is that?
Why is that crazy, Betty?
Because they were 10th.
Yeah,
that's
why.
why.
It's actually nuts. And it shows you how quickly the story of our season can change here.
Remember that it was BDS in spring.
BDS were the team that we were saying that about. We're like,
Yes,
how crazy is it that BDS are here?
Yeah, they were in the upper bracket against Vitality, and they then stomped Vitality, made their way to the finals, and then they lost in a reverse sweep against Mad Lions. BDS, they've had a struggling regular season, but now they find themselves backed against the wall against G2. Now, a loss here wouldn't be the end of their run. They'd still have another opportunity. They would go up against the winner of Koi versus... Why have I forgotten the other team?
Team Heretics.
Heretics, that's the Badger. For another opportunity to fight through the playoffs. But right now, G2 are looking strong. We jump into draft game 2. Draven, LeBlanc, and Maokai banned from BDS.
Interesting to see what the final ban will be here. They're on blue side. They have the luxury of first pick. G2 Esports, will they ban Kai'Sa? No, allowing it through. It's an opportunity to secure that, and BDS are going to make it happen.
A Kog'Maw or the Kalista tech? What are we going to get, G2? Show us. Yesterday they did, was it Trundle Kalista? Or something
there was some
like
Trundle. There was some Kalista yesterday. See where their heads are at now. Do they want to respond here? Of course, Kai'Sa remains a flex. Not something that we've seen BDS flex as much. Would be curious to see it.
Okay.
But Ivern was
so what I will say,
broken in the previous game.
Yes. Kai'Sa generally means, because of the AP build this usually goes for, you usually see AD mids.
Yep.
And if Nuke's default champion is Jace, G2 can be like, well, we got Lucian.
Yeah, run it back.
We're chilling. So the pressure's kind of on BDS to find that adaptation now. I wouldn't be surprised to see this Kalista locked in for G2. And there it is.
Well called, well predicted.
I'd love to take that prediction, but this is exactly what they did yesterday.
So yeah, pretty stock standard now as Team BDS debate their options. Purple champions, yes. Void champions, maybe. Edgy champions, also on the board. But I think that for me, I like seeing Sheo on a playmaker. Lee Sin certainly would be that. He's definitely debating what options he has up and available. Going into Ivern is so incredibly frustrating. They're going to go back to the Gragas. Now again, Gragas nerfed pretty heavily on this patch in terms of sustain. Definitely hurts laning Gragas more than jungle Gragas. But this is a champion who can obviously knock Daisy, knock Ivern out of a fight, which is always going to feel good and can be a huge catalyst for Engage.
Question is, what do BDS now want to do with their mid lane options, right? Because you need an AD mid. They can expect a Nautilus to come out from G2. That's pretty common. They've got Rakan, so their Engage is perfectly fine. Labrov, I mean, to say that Labrov is a competent Rakan player, like every European sport, is they've all mained Rakan at some point.
In the break screen, there was a mechanics episode specifically with Labrov on Rakan.
Yeah.
So he's had some highlight plays this season, even though it's been a tough season, definitely some standout moments.
He's obviously a very good Rakan player. It's just that Europe has a tendency of being blessed with a lot of very good Rakan players. And unsurprisingly, the Nautilus response from G2. So now we kind of move over to this mid lane conversation. G2, they could just ban out Jace if they wanted to. They could also ban out the Tristana and say, Nuke, what else have you got?
Yeah, they've got the luxury of fourth pick, right? So they can ban and take if they want to in terms of AD options. They can blind pick or counter pick in terms of AD options if they're not worried about the Jace.
Because there's no real pressure on G2 to actually lock in an AD mid as response. Like, because Ivern, while being an AP champion, doesn't actually have that much AP damage. There's plenty of reason for them to still get an AP mid if they want to. And as we discussed, the Jace is going to be taken off the board. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Tristana follow that up. And BDS going to remove some of these top lane options. So Jack's taken away from BrokenBlade. We'll finally see BrokenBlade on something else.
And I really like taking this away from BrokenBlade. And BrokenBlade has been the center of attention across both of the previous series. He's been receiving so many jungle ganks from the enemy jungler, but he's always remained relevant in late game team fights. And a big part of that is the Jax pick. You know, like the luxury of having Counter-Strike, these big stuns. Once you have Sunderer, you're still such a menace, even if you are set at a gold deficit. So yeah, you're right. Let's see what else is in the tank here for BB.
Oh, they ban Yasuo.
And again, you know, not the combo that I'm used to seeing anymore, but a combo that always has to be respected is the Gragas Yasuo.
I'm wondering what this Tristana, or what happens to Tristana now. Did G2 pick it themselves?
Maybe they're just hoping BDS ban it.
Nah, there's no shot they'll ban Trist, right? They're going to ban away the Lucian.
Okay.
So Tristana.
But we've seen Kai'Sa be good in Tristana mid lane.
True. I mean, that's the other thing. They could flex Kai'Sa in the mid. That's always the other option. Zai is still up.
Varus. Sorry, I'm talking about hovers.
Yeah.
Interrupting you to talk about
it's
hovers. It's
dangerous. But we know Caps. We need Varus mid here, Dylan. But it will be Tristana. Okay, I feel like I've said Tristana so many times now. I feel validated.
Oh, it's a Cassio.
It's Nuke's Cassio.
Or is it Adam's Cassio, like the desk talked about? It has been being spammed.
I feel like it's Nuke's Cassio. There's no way that they would blind Cassio top.
Yeah, and if you missed the BDS spring run for some reason, maybe you were living under a rock or watching an inferior league, hard to say why. Nuke obviously popping off on this Cassio.
Adam's Olaf.
Don't think it's Nuke's Olaf, so I'm feeling much better about this being Nuke's Cassio. Adam getting the Olaf, and overall, this is a power pick in terms of comfort for BDS, just across the board, it feels like.
Sett. BrokenBlade picking Adam's champion into another one of Adam's champions.
At a certain point, they're all Adam's champions, and we just have to accept that it's his lane now. All right.
But wow, okay, BrokenBlade on Sett. I don't remember the last time I saw BrokenBlade on Sett. It's got to be a while.
Yeah, it certainly has been. Obviously a champion who doesn't mind fighting against beefy frontliners, has strong trading potential in the sense that if Olaf tries to commit to the all-in, you're always going to threaten the W, the haymaker there. But it'll be interesting to track the matchup and see what they can actually get done. Having the Ivern on his side to make engages that much easier makes the ulti that much more threatening. But for BDS, Olaf, super, super oppressive. I wonder if we'll see the same attention paid towards top side that we've seen pretty consistently against BrokenBlade.
So I will say that on paper, at least my initial interpretation of the drafts, I just prefer G2's comp more. I think that the double AD carry meta that we currently live in is just so strong. Its ability to play around neutral objectives, its power in the early to mid game, the fact that because you're playing AD carries, you always have scaling options, the fact that it's further supported by the Ivern gives you so many scaling options. For BDS, I think they're very reliant on the top side getting ahead. I think BDS do have pretty good scaling themselves, but let's see. We're about to jump into game 2.
Here we are. G2 taking the previous game as a challenge.
30 seconds.
Flash in, just getting Adam's flash that early. And keep in mind, BrokenBlade, flash ignite, combat sums. He is ready for this aggro matchup.
Top lane is getting ganked, Drakos.
Which I think will be a nice change of pace for BrokenBlade, because when we take a look at his opponent jungle proximity, people live in top lane against BrokenBlade. I think this is part of the reason why the Jax was banned, because despite these horrendous numbers in terms of CSD and opponent jungle proximity, that's the amount of time his opponent spends near him. He's still got good kill participation. He's still showing up big in the fights.
Right? That 15, 14%. Well, I could round it up. 15%.
Yeah.
15% of I don't know. Let's use Sheo. Of Sheo's time is spent around top lane.
Every percentage point is 7 seconds because it tracks the early game. That's a lot of time.
Yep.
In this case, that's not specifically from game 1. That's from their previous series, but something that has to be paid attention to. It's also his 100th win. Wow. Why wouldn't he want to be the center of attention in this game? I forgot about that. Great job, production. Yeah. I forgot about that completely. Yeah, congrats to BrokenBlade. Has been a part of the league for quite some time, even if you spent a bit of time abroad.
All right. You gotta it's easy to take for granted as well. 100 wins.
Oh my gosh.
The easiest thing to achieve here in the LEC. Especially when they didn't used to play that many games.
It's true. If you didn't make playoffs, what, you got 18 games?
Yep.
Twice 36 games a year?
And if you're on a bad team, winning.
Oof.
Yep. So 100 wins for BrokenBlade. Congrats to him.
Last time we played the set was also a win. 2021 summer on Schalke, no fear.
The true glory days.
The old farewell tour.
But let's see. Bot lane has a bit of prio. Top lane has prio in favor of BrokenBlade. I should say bot lane BDS has the prio. And in mid, a bit of back and forth. You can see Caps' HP bars though. That's a
okay, Ignite now ticking, pull back. One shot, but Adam says, I'm gonna make it a 1-for-1. Bloodbath under the tower, but Adam has no TP.
Yeah,
this entire wave is getting deleted.
That is completely worth it for BrokenBlade. Wow, what an all-in. Has the level advantage with the level 3. Finds the solo kill. And Adam will lose a decent amount of farm off the back of that. Observers are going to give us a breakdown. So level 2 to level 1 here initially.
Pulls in. So Ignite first.
So level 2, yeah.
Passive. Pull back into the W to guarantee. Adam immediately shields, crucially.
But then the passive, he's able to get that second punch off because again, it hits faster.
Yeah, 1-2.
Yeah, the 1-2.
And now Adam is going to be hurting here as that wave is going to push in. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, though, Hansama taking a ton of damage. They're not quite able to proc those plasma stacks. And BrokenBlade says, I'll just fight into the wave. Screw your minions. You are no longer allowed to lane. This has to be infuriating for Adam. Yike there to back him up just so he can play that aggressively. As Hansama's getting lower and lower on the bottom side. Labrov poking in onto Mikyx, but getting poked a lot back in return. The Ren stacks not going to get used up here by Hansama, instead focusing on the minions as Labrov does backstep and Fog of War. Will avoid the damage.
I will say, at what point does Adam get annoyed that he keeps showing other people how to beat the champions that he's really good at?
Yeah.
Because it was BrokenBlade in an interview that said, oh, we've got to thank Adam for introducing the Olaf to the LEC. You know, a lot of top laners started picking that up. And then Adam was like, oh, Caps is fine. We'll get the shield.
Hits
nice play there from Nuke. Mikyx looking for a hook.
Hook is going to connect on the Labrov. Labrov should be able to leap back out safety, but Ignite now ticking. Yike can't flash over the wall. The flash Q, the sidestep from Labrov, holding onto that Battle Dance cooldown for so damn long. Crownie now in trouble. Forced to flash out to safety, so let's take stock. Ignite down for Mikyx. Flash heal down for Crownie.
I was going to say, that is quite ironic that Labrov had to use all of his mobility skills to dodge that, yet somehow Crownie lost all of his summoner spells. Very unfortunate for the AD carry of BDS. Will force him to go back to base. Hans and Mikyx will push in this wave and look to reset themselves.
Yep. Good news for the side of BDS is Sheo is power farming up a storm, 3 camps ahead at this stage. But what is it going to mean? You know, what angles are there to find right now? Top lane is
31 to 9.
It's it's unplayable.
I feel like I've seen Adam Olaf in this position before, where he just got
I believe
bullied.
He can come back from this position because we've seen it before. But the laning phase is truly horrid. Labrov going to try to help. Ghost now coming out there, desperate to get this kill onto BrokenBlade. BrokenBlade's flash at least going to be burned there, so small positive advantage for Adam.
He's just going to reset, yeah. Sacrifice those last few minions. Adam, this is the best position for him to be in right now. He can probably set up a freeze if he wants to. He should feel healthy enough. Nice trading again though from Nuke, leveraging the range and the Q to just chip away at Caps' HP. Means that he does find himself with a CS lead for now. And you talked about it, this was one of his comfort champions in spring. This is something that he had a lot of success with. And he's looking to repeat that performance again here.
Certainly is. Champion we got used to seeing from him. Obviously the double carry threats of BDS, but now on the bottom side, Crownie caught out. They got the flash in the earlier exchange. Now the Ren's going to come through, not quite enough to finish the job. And Hansama coming in for one more auto to get it done.
And a quick punish there from Mikyx. Flash, auto, Q. Very little that Crownie can do about that. Easy kill found for the G2 bot lane. And what was like a great start for BDS's 2v2. They now find themselves in very dire straits. Dragon going to be started up by Yike, but Sheo and Nuke can answer here. Level 6 on the Cassiopeia.
Labrov coming down. Hex flash over the wall from Mikyx. Not going to be interrupted there as the channel was already started. No CC. Sheo waiting in the darkness. Can try to steal this, but if he gives up his life, is it going to be worth it? Nuke level 6. Collapse coming in from BDS. Caps in the mid lane. Do they want to respond? Would be a 4v4. But yeah, instead just going to concede this one. G2 decide they do not want to take the fight against the level 6 Cassio and the level 5 Gragas. A lot of potential to just delete one member with the power BDS has.
When they know that Hansama needs to spend money, they decided, you know what, it's not worth the risk. Nuke is obviously in a pretty powerful position right now, and Caps needed to catch that wave considering how far behind he found himself in the 1v1.
Yep.
So G2 make the smart choice. They choose to back away, and BDS get themselves their first objective of the game.
And one of the big advantages that BDS have right now over G2 is the TP advantage in the mid lane. Nuke recalled, got that first item, still held on to TP here, so clearly winning out quite confidently now, freezing the wave. What do BDS do with this advantage is the big question. Can they punish mid lane? Can they shut Caps down? Can they free Nuke up to roam and maybe support Adam or the bottom lane? We're just going to have to see.
Well, next objective should be this Herald. Right now it's BrokenBlade kind of getting the advantages in the top lane 1v1. If Hans and Mikyx push out this bot wave, they should be able to roam first. You can see that Crownie's a little hesitant to move away. Pings are coming down. He is concerned about a potential dive with this massive stacked wave.
Caps now leaping in immediately, he's gonna get stunned up. Nuke does not even hesitate. He's gonna look to grab one. Caps ticking, burning the poison. Will fade away just in time. Sheo on the way. Big bomb to finish the job, and now Nuke's looking for a follow-up. He wanted a kill, and he's gonna get one.
Well played by the mid jungle from BDS. They punish Caps' aggression. The flash ult from Nuke was just flawless. And while Caps try to flash away to safety, Sheo was not letting his mid laner's hard work be undone. Great execution. BDS find themselves with a small gold lead.
Now, the mid jungle of BDS looking a lot more powerful, a lot more potent in this game. More damage to back them up as well, and certainly magic resist is going to hurt their damage output, but for now, they are hitting hard. 1.8k gold lead over their opposition combined. And now BDS with the gold lead, as well as the Dragon at this point in the game. Massive performance from Nuke. We know it's a comfort pick, but always a pleasure to see him, pull it out and still perform here, at least in the early game.
I think BDS, we talked about scaling. I do think they do have a lot of scaling options, of course, with Cassio and this Kai'Sa. Very serious late game threats to make it very difficult to engage. So we'll see how things pan out, considering how strong Nuke is on the Cassio right now. They're very close to the first item. Mikyx doing what he loves to do. Go mid lane.
Yeah.
So G2 secure themselves Herald.
One of the big differences, while G2 do take this objective, and this will somewhat balance out the gold, and certainly will put the gold in their favor once they're able to use that Herald. And a poke with the Axis. Sheo just actually does damage this game, which makes a lot of things easier. Yes, does limit their tanky front line, could hurt their front to back, but actually much more of a threat in the 2v2 than he was in the previous game on Sejuani.
Oh yeah, BDS have a lot of damage. And they're gonna need it, because Yike, very good at mitigating your damage.
That's true.
On the Ivern.
Is Adam looking for a picks up the axe. CC immune trying to burn through that health bar. BrokenBlade needs to land a clean haymaker with the flash to safety. The ult back, but he's still CC immune. BrokenBlade tries to walk back. And no matter how good you are in top lane, Adam on Olaf just does it better.
Adam took advantage of the flash difference. If BrokenBlade could have matched the flash and then moved his W up, he would have been able to find that kill onto Adam. But Adam patiently waiting for that opportunity. Now Sheo. Ooh! Wow, quick reactions there from Caps. The miasma route, or the grounding rather, wasn't quite in time. Now Mikyx knows no summoners top lane, has the ultimate.
Adam no ultimate, he should just go down here. Sidestep on the hook helps, but doesn't even have the space to do so. Slow coming out from the Keystone as well. Glacial. So shutdown comes through for Hansama. Positive sign for the side of G2. Still credit to Adam for finding a kill in what was a disadvantageous lane.
I mean, also just huge credit to Adam for just coming back into this lane. We talked about the CS discrepancy. Now he has the CS lead. 600 gold advantage over BrokenBlade. Huge props to him in the 1v1 top.
Uh-oh.
G2 have rotated the bot lane up. I imagine they want to funnel the Herald over here, but you can see Yike is in the bot lane right now.
Adam debating what lane he wants to go to as he respawns. Ultimate going to be up shortly. Mikyx needs to be careful here. Sheo coming over the wall. Body slam immediately. Rakan now going to follow up with the knockup. Deny the hook into the wall, but Hansama, as the Fate's call, can pull him back out to safety, but that leaves Caps isolated in the mid lane where he is still getting obliterated in these trades. He only has the Noon Quiver. Herald charging though, gonna get more money back to BrokenBlade, even up the 1v1 matchup, but a lot of resources used to help this set out while Hansama suffering on the top side as Crownie's gonna grab a plate.
Yeah, I feel like BDS have a much firmer control over this early game. While they don't have a massive gold lead, you can see that the fact that the mid lane matchup is going so well for Nuke. Crownie, yes, he does find himself behind, but Adam holding his own in the 1v1. It just gives BDS more options, especially given that they've already secured themselves the first dragon. You imagine after this reset, that'll be the next objective that they look to contest. And right now, I'd argue that they're in a stronger position. There's the Rylai's finished for Nuke. Hunt and Mikyx are top lane. There's no way they can rotate down to contest, so...
Yeah, and while Rylai's isn't the, the most oppressive item in terms of damage, in terms of controlling this lane, this is going to be infuriating for Caps to play against. Anything connects, he's going to be slowed down. It's going to make all the follow-up that much easier. Caps now going to try to retreat here. Nice buffer on the rocket jump. Will make it out to safety. But for G2, their one strong point right now is Hansama. Close to a champion that can do a lot of damage late game, but doesn't usually compare in terms of scaling. Certainly not to a Cassio or a Kai'Sa. So kind of, I feel like, pressure on G2 to leverage their bot lane strength to try to get themselves back into this game.
Caps is going to be sent top lane, and G2 are going to concede this objective. There's nothing they can really do mid, as Adam is standing guard. Their best hope is to try and get some plates for Caps in the top lane. Maybe get some money into his pocket. And he should be able to. At the very least, he can get one plate. Mikyx
finding Labrov, the knock immediately going to come through. Hansama waiting over the wall. This is the strong member. The team going to try to shred through Sheo. Sheo has no defensive stats. The flash out of safety will not be enough. Yike taking down Sheo. Labrov potentially next. The Q going to connect on the crouch out. Hansama wants to keep this one going. They need more out of this. The knockup coming through. Hansama from downtown. Finding the follow-up as Nuke is now going to be in trouble. BrokenBlade waiting, holding on in the meantime, but Nuke finds the perfect stun. The Haymaker, where is it going to go? BrokenBlade just has to run for his life back into the darkness. Nuke playing on the edge here. TP now coming in. Nuke now needs to get the hell out, but BrokenBlade doesn't want to end this play quite yet. Nuke's going to look for one. Nuke flashing over the wall. The seismic back. He tries to finish him off. It's the 1-for-1 on the bottom side.
Flashes across the board as Nuke is able to get one back. The TP committed from Caps as well wasn't quite enough, as Nuke doing his absolute best. But Crownie losing his life in the mid lane. Sheo. Hansama could be in some serious danger.
Hansama's definitely in some serious danger here. Olaf just running through. Can he pull the trigger on the red? Soon enough, the shield's coming out. It's not enough. Olaf's still going. The knockup's not going to work either. He's just going to keep hitting Mikyx. He doesn't want to walk under the tower. My God, Adam! He's just absolutely busted. And Labrov going to come in, snipe the kill, and finish the job. Now he's going to use the quickness to get back to safety.
Can he get away though?
The shield on Daisy?
Run, Labrov, run, Daisy.
I don't know what is happening, but this game is a banger.
It's clean League of Legends, my friend. That's what we watch Heroes for. I mean, where do I even start?
Adam good at Olaf.
Yeah.
Everyone else still not 100% confident on how much damage Olaf does.
True.
This 1v1 awkward. Those are my thoughts.
So the damage was initially very good, but the ultimate from Nuke was even better. BrokenBlade is hesitant to use his W early because he knows that once it's gone, he's basically dead. He has to hold it for the last minute. He tries to keep the meter up by hitting the minions. We don't have time.
They're going to try to delete Nuke one more time. Nuke this time around knocked up. So much damage now coming up. The follow-up to Cassio is strong, but is she strong enough? Cass now stepping forward. Nuke, 5 seconds left till that ultimate was available. Does not have it. G2 able to find the pick on the bottom side.
Yeah, so you saw the play. Nuke died. But prior to that, Crownie also died in mid. Hansama was able to get a bunch of kills. You can see at the bottom of your screen, 1.7k gold lead for the Kalista. But then Adam was like, nah, bruh. And then he dived mid.
Eloquently put.
Yep.
Betty.
I mean, he had his Gragas up. Graggy ice, man. He had all he needed.
He had everything he needed
to run down a demon spirit lady with spears. And now Caps sieging in the bot lane. We came out of our replay to find Nuke getting picked in a side lane. This time around, though, he didn't have the summoner spells to do anything fancy, so he ended up just losing his life.
I think if there's anything we've learned from the BDS top side,
tell me,
it's that beer beats magic.
Yeah.
Gragas, Olaf,
every time.
All these. Who cares about the fantasy characters? They've got what they need.
A mystical tree that does weird fantasy things? Nah. 2
guys who drink too much.
2 guys who drink, yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah, I respect their matching skins too, you know? They're having a great time.
You mean any Gragas skin and Graggy Ice?
Yeah, but he's specific, doesn't he have the
He's the Fnatic one.
Oh, he's the Fnatic one. Yeah, so by...
yeah, I don't know what you're trying to imply about Fnatic fans right now, all right? But
no.
Anyway, continuing forward. Obviously, Hansama is still strong for G2 overall, but has to be careful in these fights because as you've seen, Olaf is a massive threat, can generate so much space for BDS if it does come down to a 5v5. G2 now retreating here as BDS going to use second Herald of the game to break open mid lane tower. 1 minute and 3 seconds left on Hextech. They're already 2 Drakes up. And overall, game 2 going so much better for BDS. They're matching blow for blow with G2 with what feels to be superior scaling options. Although that said, double AD carry with an Ivern is something that has to be respected.
That's the thing that's getting me. I do feel that BDS have better scaling. But
on their carries. But once you add the Ivern
it's the Ivern.
Things get weird.
Yeah, the Ivern is what makes it weird indeed. Well, we'll see. Fights are going to be interesting. Obviously, right now, it's BDS that have the Dragon advantage. The next one spawns in 30 seconds. They have push in mid. They have push in bot. BDS have control over the river, so it's G2 that have to force their way in if they want to contest. And right now, it does not look like, Drakos, that they want to contest.
Which I think, when it means walking into a Cassio and potentially also an Olaf, does make a lot of sense to me. Sheo only level 10, but might fully upgrade to both junglers.
Hexgate, so clearly
complicated the equation.
That they have.
Hexgate now coming through as Labrov might just fish for an engage. Mikyx, where's the hook gonna go? Does manage to find the Rakan. Can they just delete Labrov before the fight even starts? And they can! They most certainly can! Adam holding onto the LDCC with the knockup still connected initially. Yike off to the side. Uncontested. Caps doing so much damage! I thought BDS were ahead, but G2 slaughtering them again in the exchange. The double for Caps. He's looking to make it 3, maybe a hat trick on the bottom side.
G2 made that fight look so easy. What great Kalista play from Hansama to just sidestep away from the engage coming in from the Hexgate. BrokenBlade wasn't even involved. Now he's finding some action. Is he gonna die?
I think he might.
Yeah, it's
Mikyx
W.
coming.
Nice find. Wow, okay.
Hook is in, hits the minion, roots up Crownie. They're gonna try to make this work. That was not the best play ever, but now they're gonna suplex Crownie back. Try to dunk him down, he flashes out to safety.
Yeah, I don't think that was it.
I'm not convinced that that was it.
That was it. Crownie's gonna walk away with a kill, but can he get away with his life? Yes, he can. The Hexgate tech will take him to safety. His summoner spells will be lost, but still, pick for Crown.
Mikyx limit testing, but again,
I mean, I saw what they were cooking.
Again, remember, as we like to clarify, we need a lower third for this. That was not negative gaming. Have to remind people. 2 things that are important. When it is and isn't negative gaming, and reminding people.
So we're getting the T-Tors. Labrov comes in from the flank, and it looks like a potential great engage. Immediate hook from Mikyx, though. And then look at Hansama here, the damage. Auto execute. Then Adam is like, doesn't use the... He still gets knocked up.
No, he gets knocked up, and then he casts Ragnarok, so he's still in the air.
And then I was so focused on the backline of Hans and Mikyx that I didn't even notice Caps was just slaughtering everyone. 3 hitting on the backside meant that he finds himself with a triple kill. Yeah. And again, it comes back to this double AD carry with an Ivern. You just can't afford to underestimate it in the team fights.
Yeah. I'm consistently impressed by how insane this champion is. Literally, and in terms of balance. It's BrokenBlade.
G2. Getting into the Ivern lore again.
I love the Ivern lore.
It's so dark and mysterious.
It's not dark or mysterious. Or, sorry, it is not mysterious, but it is very, very dark. Yeah, he's just a psychopath. He's literally just Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons, but like
and he's
with
friends
trees.
With the trees.
Yeah, but he was not friends with a lot of other things before he was friends with the trees.
Right now, he is G2's friend.
Certainly.
As they
13 stacks again. And you just rack up assists on this champion, so I can understand the itemization.
I wish Jarvan could get measures, because he's the same. Press E, assists galore.
A little bit of extra attack speed.
So that's what you got to do on Ivern, right? You just shield man AD carry. Oh, how convenient.
He's the Yumi of the jungle, sort of. Just getting credit for a lot of things that don't really involve you.
The only way they could make it better is if they had Soraka in there too.
Yeah, true.
Ivern, Soraka.
We would love that. Yeah, that would be great to cast.
BDS find themselves with their backs against the wall just a bit. The gold deficit is nothing that they can't overcome.
I mean, it's a difficult situation because Nuke was so far ahead, but now after that fight,
that was
Rob takes a ton of damage. And again, Rakan's such a squishy champion that if you're not confident on those engages, if you whiff at all, very likely to get one shot.
Okay, the get out of jail free card there from Hansama.
But you have Kai'Sa, Olaf, Cassio. If G2 mess up or misposition one time, you delete Baron.
Oh yeah. I like how after G2 lost... Wait, it wasn't G2. Wait. I'm just remembering all these 20-minute Barons, you know? And I'm just like, SK with all the 20-minute, they're like, ward the Baron! It has just spawned, but I will not allow a Cassio to sneak this objective away.
Dude, shout out to Albus Nox Luna. They've like maintained relevance through the 20-minute Baron. They can say that even T1 has taken strategies from them.
It's true. Look at the minimap right now.
Yeah, at this we're grouping. Both sides know what's on the table here. Waves are pushed out. Nothing too insurmountable will eventually need to be responded to here. BDS fishing for an angle. Q down. Ooh, a little bit of poke on the Cavs, trying to speed up, just trying to delete the Tristana. Still charmed, however, as they try to take Cavs out of the equation. Cavs now down, massive shutdown. Mikyx has to be careful. Nuke now going to be knocked up. BrokenBlade off to the side. Needs to suplex his Cassio, but an excellent stun to stop him from doing anything. In the meantime, Adam is tanking 3. BrokenBlade manages to fire back. The knockback is there for Sheo, but he gets one in exchange. G2 still winning the fight thus far. Crownie and Nuke versus the world. Double carries left standing. Yike creating so much space for Hansama. They need to fight. They need to get something done here, but the spears are starting to stack. Nuke running for his life, and G2 taking the exchange as BDS will hold on to their tier 2 tower, but Hansama, he's not done. Still walking forward, forcing the heal out from Crownie. The hook will go just a little bit wide for Mikyx and the fight will fizzle.
4 versus 5. G2 are able to win the team fight. Massive props to BrokenBlade, finding 2 kills on the backline as Hansama is able to use the wall to kite away from Adam, preventing that lockdown. G2 decide that they don't want to gamble the Baron. The TP will come back in from Nuke into the mid lane. Look at this, Caps loses life. He gets way too close to the brush. Didn't learn his lesson from the Garen in game 1. And Labrov finds the engage. The follow-up from Crownie is enough to get the execution. Then the cleanse and the flash from Hans very early on, but then look at BrokenBlade on the left. Nuke gets a good ultimate off, but then he's able to land a massive W into the Haymaker, the ultimate. And he finds himself another kill on Sheo as well, while the rest of G2 take out Adam.
Yeah, and ultimately on the retreat here, you can see that with the Ivern stamping up, even though you have double carries, it just doesn't matter that Daisy creates so much space.
5.6.
What? Kalista scales real good if you run at her with melee champions. Definitely, if there's one strength that she has.
I mean, I never really appreciated how miserable you can make Olaf on Kalista.
Yes.
But Hansama uses walls very well. Mikyx goes in.
Ulti, Naka. BDS for now just chilling. Mikyx definitely is overstayed here. Fate's Call comes out.
It's a big commitment there from Mikyx to not really much benefit. The Dragon is up as well. BDS have a line towards it, but G2 are threatening the Baron. Look, Kai'Sa's going to go solo in. Yeah. So what would G2 do now? BDS, I think they can just take their time. Yeah, free objective for them as G2 is forced to back off. Still find themselves 4K cold down. Adam needs to be careful though.
Adam now caught out, immediately going to ult to try to cut through Mikyx's health bar. Mikyx, the hook back to the wall, will keep him healthy. Dragon has been taken down in the meantime. Adam not having to give up any sums, but that ultimate cooldown will hurt if G2 can force a fight pretty quickly here. That said, Hansama's ult still not available. Mikyx's ult still not available. Bit of a fumble in the mid lane. BDS. Did they get the Drake? They got the Drake?
Yeah. Wait, they did, right? They definitely did.
All right, they're at 3. We'll get production confirmed.
Yeah.
Some little oopsies here and there.
They definitely have a Drake.
Likes to keep us on our toes. Yes, this HUD of ours. Anyway, the stage of the game now where BDS could just look to play for a soul point. It can be a bit tricky. There it is.
This confirmation. Wait.
Confirmation. Dragon half.
This is confirmation, right?
This is confirmation.
Yes.
You were concerned that a random Ezreal ult in a game without Ezreal was going to come over the wall?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
That's
called trauma, and it's the observers ruining us as human beings.
They love following things like
every Ezreal ult.
Jinx ult. Yeah, Ezreal is probably the worst offender. And they'll just follow it, and you'll be like, oh, 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 and then it doesn't hit anything. And then they do a little back.
The House of Lies.
Yep. And then they're like, is that the little tee? You know?
I wish they had voice comp so they could go tee-hee every time on broadcast.
Bro, they BM. Who did they BM yesterday? That was hilarious. Was it the Maokai? It was the Mao.
It was the Mao.
Yeah. Malrang's Maokai.
Yeah, poor Malrang.
Damn.
Man.
Observers, no chill.
Absolutely not. Okay, so BDS, decent setup.
Look at Caps. He's bot lane. What's he doing?
He's going to try to eat this tower.
He's eating the tower.
He's just
that tower is gone.
Devouring it. My God. Like it's Blue Lock. Like that reference?
Yeah.
That episode was weird.
Yeah. That whole show is weird.
Yeah, so it's got some strong undertones, most certainly. Anyway, it's a sports anime for those who don't know.
You wouldn't think.
Yeah, you would not think. All right, BDS. Lost the tower. That's frustrating. On the side lane, Caps remains a constant threat here. And now, Rob will not get hooked up. Luckily able to make it out of that one. Quick Merc treads by coming in clutch there.
But how annoying is G2's comp? Ivern can execute. Mikyx goes in. Drops his combo. He's overextended.
Leaves.
Good joke. Hansama ults him out.
I mean, it's really hard to know what the right time is to force these fights as, you know, as BDS. Because ultimately, BrokenBlade also there has the power to just take you out of the fight for anyone but Olaf, which creates so much more space for Hansama and Caps to work with.
It's a situation where I think that BDS's comp does scale well, but can they actually execute it when playing these fights? There's so much mobility on the side of G2 that we didn't really talk about, but Hans and Caps are very difficult to lock down, and they're very, what's the word, elegantly dancing around the fights.
Sure.
They just use terrain very well. And I guess the best plan, potentially, is for BDS to just find an open space, maybe force a fight around, like, in front of the Baron, in front of the Dragon. I don't know.
Yike just continuing to leash the Baron here as Labrov desperately fishing for the enemy jungler. Knockup doesn't connect. Crownie should just delete Yike. Yike goes back over the wall, ticking, doesn't quite have the damage to W. Observers. Playing with
but now this is a window for BDS to start the Baron.
And Cassio can definitely hold on the bottom side. Adam can create a lot of space here. But with no Cassio in the area, this Baron's going to take forever. They're just going to try to shred through Ivern before the fight even starts. There's a two-man knockup coming in from Labrov. BDS forced to retreat. Caps now moving into the mid lane to take a tower. In the meantime, this is going terribly for BDS. Knockback onto Hans is a solid start, but again, there's no follow-up on the side of BDS. Crownie now flashing in. Desperate, he knows this could just be the final fight. Nuke TPing in. The ulti will not connect. He's able to finish it. Nuke on the backside. Nuke could be everything. Eyes on the Cassio. Caps can't cancel the TP. Nuke is trying to single-handedly turn the fight. Adam caught out and cut down, but still, G2 reigns strong in the exchange.
Wow, I can't believe G2 actually won out on this team fight. Nuke doing what he can. Caps, though, needs to make sure that he can get this kill onto Nuke, otherwise the Baron becomes a lot harder. He commits.
Should just be able to take him down here. Nuke does good damage, but not nearly enough with an Ivern shield there as well. Tense exchange. Caps not quite able to cancel the TP. The Buster Shot coming out just a little too late. Nuke almost turning it. But yeah, Yike and BrokenBlade still standing.
This is a 5v4, and Adam just makes a massive mistake. He walks to that choke point, and then he doesn't want to ultimate early, which means he takes so much damage from the chain CC of G2. They're going to wait for Hunt Summer to respawn. All 5 members will get this Baron.
And I think it's awkward because you really want Nuke there if you're going to threaten the Baron, because you're spending a lot of time eating damage from the Baron when you don't realistically, unless G2 just choose not to walk anywhere near the pit, have a shot at killing it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're actually going to get a replay of that last fight because the Dragon is now up. Sheo in a position to steal.
Reminder, soul point for BDS here.
Yep.
Ignore the HUD on this one. G2 will deny it. They will grab their second Drake of the game.
Yeah, looks like BDS don't feel confident enough to contest this.
And credit to Yike, but also, how does he have 25 stacks again? Does Ivern just have a library card or something?
So this play from Adam is the big mistake because he basically just isolates himself from the team, gets hooked up, gets CC'd again by BrokenBlade, and he doesn't ult until here, but Hansam is already wailing away on him. Mikyx then attacks Labrov, and 4 versus 4, BDS are like, wait, we can't go. The TP will then come through from Nuke, the re-engage from G2, but Adam is already forced out of the fight. Good flash from Hansama means that he's free to hit. The knockup, I think it was from Daisy onto Crownie, means that he can literally do nothing. He gets killed as well, and while the ultimate is good, there's a world where Nuke can just clean up this whole fight. The arrival of Caps to clean up is what allowed G2 to cement their victory. And the bot lane from G2, though, doing so much work with the assistance of Yike just over the wall.
And you can see credit Hansama, so clutch in these extended fights. He is farming DPM off of Adam a little bit, but still deserves that recognition. And BDS, you know, yesterday they looked so composed. And today they look a little lost in these fights. Crownie flashing over the wall, didn't have ultimate when that fight kicked off. Would have loved to follow up on Sheo's ultimate. You know, we saw in the backside, Hansama at 4 stack. Crownie does a ton of damage if he finds an isolated target. Doesn't get a chance, and now Sheo going golden here. The body slam coming in, but again, no follow-up.
Look at the shield as well. It's crazy the amount of support that Ivern can offer.
Hooked up, chain CC, Labrov right into the backside, trying to find at least multiple members. He's gonna get cut down. Now it's Crownie versus the world, but Caps just has more range. He just shoots faster. His guns are better. His teammates are still alive. It's a quadra.
It's an unofficial penta, Drakos. He got that initial kill onto Sheo as well. Caps cleans up the fight. G2 clean up BDS, and they're looking to end the game.
BDS broken in the last few stages of this game. Could not find a fight on their terms. G2 absolute dominance. More back and forth in the early game, certainly, but in the end, G2 still coming out on top. Clean in these mid to late game scenarios. The one reliable factor in the LEC, G2's performance. And now Penta. Official Penta, unofficial Hexakill.
They give it over to Caps before the game is end. He is able to secure himself a pentakill, 12-3 and 2 on the Tristana. He had a bit of a rough early game. The laning phase did not go his way, but he definitely clutched up in the later team fights. Huge carry performances from Caps and Hansama. Yike and Mikyx, the facilitators throughout this series, were absolutely spectacular. And G2 continue to look a cut above the rest.
Yeah. And again, starting so strong for BrokenBlade on the top side of the map, Adam turning it back, but then not able to continue to find those advantages. BrokenBlade still getting so much work done in the fights. And you saw moments, you saw glimmers for BDS, but they just could not convert it. And especially in the few final moments of that game, they just felt lost. Yeah. Couldn't find a fight on their terms, couldn't find the angles of G2. You know, if you're uncertain for a moment, G2 are a team that will force on you over and over again, force you to respond, force you to fight. You can't lose your footing against a team like this, and BDS most certainly did.
But also, they are continuing to be the innovators.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they were the ones that were playing Kog'Maw into the Kai'Sa. They're the ones now playing Kalista. And it's like, it's the Draven all over again, right? Hansama, historically, has been known for his hyper-aggressive playstyle. Yep. Draven and Kalista were two champions that you couldn't really ever afford to give this guy. And now he's getting his hands on the Kalista in a meta where everyone's telling you that Kai'Sa, Xayah, those are the champions that you have to play. But they find ways to make his style work. And then they're just kind of filling in the rest of the pieces elsewhere. Yike continues to demonstrate his incredibly flexible champion pool. BrokenBlade is kind of doing what he can in the resources that he's given. He's not given very many. And then Caps is just kind of returning to form, continuing to pop off.
I mean, it's an impressive turnaround, especially when the conversation at MSI was, how good is he? You know, when will we see him come back to form? It's been a bit of a struggle, but this season it has been immaculate from Caps, certainly. I mean, still a few hiccups here and there. The Nico game may be a bit questionable, but that's just the nature of League of Legends. You player of the series, you saw the vote already at LEC on Twitter. 3 wonderful options there for you. Yike, Caps, Hansama.
But now we have another unique upper bracket, best of 5, XL versus G2. We thought it would be Fnatic, but it's XL, 10th, going up against G2 in the upper bracket.
Well, ultimately, fantastic story, I think. But what's a better story than that? Caps and his father in an interview together is what I'm being told. So we send it over to Trouble.
Well, I don't want to be spreading any lies, but I do have Caps here for sure. So thank you very much, Drakos. Caps, I want to ask by asking you, was the Lucian Dylan pick me Vayne moment?
I mean, it was just we were looking for a solution to certain drafts, and it just happened to be Lucian.
Why Lucian specifically versus the Jace? Were you just looking for just an AD mid?
I mean, definitely a good AD mid in the draft, like allows Kai'Sa to go AP. Also with Ivern, Riot changed him to be a bot laner by like making him do more damage when he gets shields and stuff. But when you have Ivern jungle, it kind of works out.
Absolutely. Now, I want to play a little game with you because your Lucian KDA was not as flashy as Tristana KDA. But can you tell me what was your gold diff versus your opponent mid laner towards the end of the game with Lucian?
I'm not sure, probably like 5K, something like this.
Okay, you overestimated. It was 4.2, but it was still pretty massive. Now, when it comes to cooking drafts, and was the Lucian like a last-second thing that you came up with? Because I asked Mikyx and Hans yesterday, and they said, oh, last second doesn't work with Dylan. We actually have to practice it and work with it.
I mean, it's something that we've been trying this week, for sure. It's just like now the new Ivern thing came out, and a lot of other changes, I guess, and we're trying to find combos with it. And one of them was Lucian. Especially now that people stop playing him AD carry, it makes it nice. You can pull it out from mid lane.
Well, since your Lucian was flashy, Tristana was even flashier. Apparently, we have your pentakill. And please walk me through this. I'm pretty sure you were like too far ahead and you were just chasing the kills. But was there anything specific that you did for it?
I mean, I think my team got a really good pick on Gragas to start out the fight. And from there, it was just kind of like a somewhat free fight. Like Rakan, I think, goes very aggressive with ult, but he doesn't manage to reach me. I think they go super deep on Hans instead. So I took that personal, and I decided to punish them for it.
Isn't that really fun in G2, though? You guys have so many carries in the same team. One of them will be the bait. The other two of you will have a lot of fun. Is that right?
For sure, yeah. And I think Hans has been stepping up big time this year, so a lot of teams are just focusing on him now. So I guess I'll just clean up if that's the case.
Now, Caps, I see you very happy. This is an 11-win streak currently for G2. Of course, you guys have locked playoffs. You're going to be playing versus XL. We'll talk about XL a little bit later. But are you happy with the current form?
I mean, I definitely think we are very strong right now. I think to be honest, I think we're a lot stronger than we even show. I think our stage games have been a bit weird. I mean, a lot of it also comes from me. I think some of my, especially the early game Lucian was a bit sus there. They kind of got like a 2-0 in the start and stuff like this. Some things are going very wrong very early in the game. But even despite of that, we're still coming back. And I do think if we remove the very early deficits, I think we can be much stronger.
You have been a pillar for EU mid laners. A lot of people are looking up to you. A lot of new pros are looking up to you and they want to face you and they want to beat you. And you were a little bit critical of yourself this year and your performance. What have you worked on personally to develop yourself this year?
I mean, I think for me, I think finding like the right meta approach is always like important, right? Finding out like what champions works for you, and also finding out like what I need from my team. I think specifically like now we had a lot of new players coming in this year. And I need to figure out like to be demanding enough to like say what I need to put myself in a good spot. I need to figure out when I need to help out someone else or when I need to actually just like get my own lead. And I think it took a while. It's also very hard when we are winning a lot because especially going into winter, we were just winning every game. So it felt okay that a lot of the times I was maybe taking a deficit because we would just like dive them somewhere or we would get advantage other places. But I think we realized at MSI like we really need to step up everywhere on the map, and I think coming to summer now we are slowly doing that, and I'm excited for Worlds.
We are too, to see you come back to your big form that you always show us in internationals. Caps, does having your dad's support help at all?
For sure. I mean, I have my dad here today, I have my mom even as well.
You do?
Yeah.
Shall we call him up? Can we have Caps' dad here with Caps, please?
Yes.
Now, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You are fantastic, not only at supporting your son, but also at creating tweets. You use the emojis very eloquently. And I have brought a game here that I want to play with you. These are, if you want to pass them to your dad, these are 5 emoji cards. And I want to ask you 3 questions.
Yes.
You can only answer by showing an emoji to this camera over there. Okay?
Yes.
I want to ask you, what did you think of
This is my home field.
Yeah. What did you think of Caps' performance today?
Oh, that's easy.
Oh, that's easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Cute, cute. What would you say to people who do not believe in G2 and Caps?
They don't know anything about League.
Then you mean?
And G2 is going to have to play Excel. How do you think G2 is going to do in this best of 5? That's a difficult one.
Yeah, because I know Excel they are, but I think this is
Okay. Do you have any words about Caps, G2, his performance? You always supporting him?
Right now I'm really satisfied and feeling good, and you just keep up because you are in the right spot, and we're looking forward to the
Best of 5s?
continuation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it would be something amazing. And this year is it's always a new one, but this year looks not thrilling. It looks awesome, and I feel something very good in the end of the summer and going into October and something really big in the East.
Oh, wow. We're talking Worlds, maybe? Well, thank
That
you
could be.
very much, both of you. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
locking playoffs, of course. We're going to toss it over to PGL, where Lore is joined by Roman and Isma. Thank you, guys. Caps, thank you very much.